Healthcare content writing isn't just about filling up a blog. It's about building trust and boosting visibility by solving real problems for people. In this video, I'll share tips to help you write accurate, engaging content that's aligned with your brand and drives real results. Hi, I'm Reed, Creative Director of Best Friend Jack. If you want to learn more about branding for your healthcare business, check out our playlist linked below. Stick around and I'll share with you the 3 most effective content formats that you can utilize today. How to write healthcare content that actually provides value to your users. First, you have to understand your audience. In healthcare and health tech, you're usually speaking to one of 3 main audiences: patients, providers, or payers. And that includes health plans, health systems, and large self-insured employers. Now, each of those groups is going to have their own values, challenges, and priorities, and that's going to inform what you should be saying and where you should be saying. So how to get those insights? First of all, look at where people are getting their information. If they're patients, what patient advocacy groups do they rely on? If they're enterprise, what conferences or associations are they part of? Where are they going online? What are the conversations that they're having? In the enterprise space, your sales team is going to be one of your best sources of information. They're on the front line talking to your customers every day, so make sure those insights have a way to get back to your content marketing team. If you have an app or a website, what analytics are in place that can help you understand what people are engaging with and where they're falling off? And finally, if you want to know what your customers are thinking about, just ask them. Market research can be a great tool to find out the kind of content your audience is going to value most. Where are they online? What conversations are they part of? Once you know what your audience is talking about, then you can join the conversation. Focus on accuracy and building trust. In healthcare, this topic is more relevant than ever. People are looking for trusted experts to help them navigate. So turn to people on your team who can help. Do you have members of your sales or product team that can serve as thought leaders? Or providers who can reach out and provide value to patients? This is one of the most important ways to ensure that your content is relevant. Be sure to put those voices out consistently on LinkedIn or on YouTube and cultivate that unique point of view. This is a watch out on the Gen AI tools that are available today. They might be able to produce a lot of content, but they're going to give you generic, lowest common denominator stuff, not the type of content that people are looking for. When the stakes are high, people want their questions answered by a human being, not just a search engine. Make the content actionable. Always be asking, what's in it for your audience? No one's looking to sign up for a sales pitch. Make sure this comes across in your headlines and hooks. For example, if you're writing for patients, a headline could be 7 ways to take control of your chronic condition today. Or in the enterprise space, your roadmap to reducing readmissions with predictive analytics. Actionable content lets people know what they need to do, and that makes it relevant. Write in clear, accessible language. Healthcare is complex enough already. No one needs to muddy the water with technical language or complex industry jargon. When I used to write for Pfizer and Genentech, we'd use something called the Fry test. The Fry test was something that we used to look at the content that we were writing to make sure that it was written simply and that any patient could understand. It wasn't always easy to do. You had to look at how complicated the language you were using was, how long the sentences were, and really make it as simple and concrete as possible. You can't take people's level of education for granted. So by writing at a 6th grade level, you're making sure that as many people as possible can get the meaning of what you're trying to put across. Everyone really appreciates short, succinct language. People are busy and they don't have time to read paragraphs and paragraphs of information. So, never reach for a 10-cent word when a 5-cent word will do. So one example would be like, instead of saying the word utilize, you could just say the word use. It's equally clear and much shorter. This can be a great use for Gen AI tools to help you make your content more accessible and friendlier in tone. When you're writing, you also want to think like a designer. How can you make your content as scannable as possible? Use clear subheadlines and bullets so people can easily find the information they're looking for. For longer form pieces, use a table of contents. One lesson I learned early on is that if you really want people to remember your point, tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them with all the proof points you have, and then finally, tell them what you told them. It sounds stupid, but believe me, it really works. You also want to regularly update and refresh your content. This doesn't mean that you have to come out with a new piece every week, but it does mean you should periodically revisit your anchor content pieces and make sure that they're still relevant. You also want to stay part of the conversation. A blog is a great way to do this. That way you can monitor the industry or the therapeutic area that you're in and make sure that you're putting out content that makes you a part of that conversation. Optimize for SEO without sacrificing value. SEO is key to your visibility, but that doesn't mean that you need to be repeating your keywords ad nauseum. One great rule of thumb is that SEO gets you found, but it's the value of your content that drives engagement, gets people to stick around. One thing you can try is long tail keywords. So instead of just writing something general like mental health care, if you're providing something more specific, you could write mental health care for teenagers with anxiety, or health IT systems for small practices. That way, you're going to stand out and people are going to know that your business has what they need and help you outrank people that are writing more generally. So you also want to make sure that you're structuring your content well with a clear hierarchy of headlines, subheadlines, and bullets and body copy. This lets search engines know exactly what you're talking about and make sure that it gets in front of the right people. No amount of SEO optimization is going to make up for bad content. You can stuff it full of all the keywords you want, but if your content is boring or uninteresting, it really doesn't matter. The importance of ensuring your content aligns with your brand. In a crowded industry like healthcare or health technology with a lot of market entrants, it's really your brand identity that sets you apart. Your audiences are going to be interacting with you across multiple platforms, so making sure that you're being consistent with your personality and your tone of voice and always getting across that clear positioning that makes you different from everyone else is so important to make your content stick. Keeping things consistent and aligned with your brand also goes a long way to establishing trust. People love to know what to expect, so maintaining a consistent voice across all of your communications is really helping to increase their comfort level and remember the important information that you're trying to get across. How to use branding to elevate your content marketing strategy in healthcare. Consistency is key and will help you build trust with your audience over time. So having a clearly defined brand comes first. You want to be sure that people know exactly what is your mission, what is your personality when you're talking to them, what is your tone of voice? Is it fun and lighthearted, or is it very serious and clinical? This helps your team know the points they should be making consistently and in what tone of voice they should be making them. This is going to help your team write content that is aligned with who you are, and it's going to let people know what kind of company they're dealing with. Here are 3 different content formats that you can utilize to elevate the value of your healthcare content. Number 1, interactive infographics. This is perfect for data-heavy topics like healthcare cost savings. There's nothing more valuable than having people be able to bring their data and plug it into your system to see what they can expect and what kind of ROI your company might be able to give them. Number 2, short-form videos. This often takes the form of explainer videos or tutorials that cram a lot of story into a small amount of space. They're a great way to get people engaged with your brand and let them know what you're all about. Number 3, case studies. These are a great way to showcase real-world results in a way that is more relatable for people. So examples of case studies might be what kind of cost savings you generated, how you've helped an employer client keep and retain employees or improve employee satisfaction. And so putting these out are really worth their weight in gold because they let people know what they can expect if they choose to do business with your company.